Hello, everyone. My name is Stanley St. Rose, and today we're going to be talking about That Evening Sun, written by William Faulkner. Now, before I go into summary analysis of this work, please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and/or comment so that the channel can continue to grow. Now, That Evening Sun is a very interesting work here. We're following the Compson family. This is in Jefferson, Mississippi. We have this woman by the name of Nancy. She's black. And the Compson family are a white family, and they hire her to be the washerwoman. Now, they do have someone that does all the work by the name of Bill C. And Bill C, whenever she's sick, they have Nancy come in to do all of the work. The washerwoman, she'll wash clothes. She will do other things around the house. And Nancy, within the place where she is, she does a lot of different work to get by. For example, Stavel, who's a white individual within the town, he's a deacon and he works at the bank. And he has Nancy perform sexual acts on him. So he has sex with her for money. So, Nancy's involved in prostitution. She's sleeping with Stavel, performing acts on him for money, and they actually get into a big argument within this work in the middle of in the street because she's doing this, performing these acts on him, but he's not paying. And this altercation leads to Stavel beating Nancy, kicking her in the face. She loses teeth. She goes to jail. The jailer beats her up, and she's pregnant. While this is happening, she sings in the jail. She tries to commit suicide because just her life is just so horrible. And then when she gets released, her husband, that has the name of Jesus, he also wants to know who got her pregnant, and he wanted to kill whoever got his wife pregnant. But Jesus, within this work, this character by the name of Jesus, he has a scar over his face. He gets into a lot of fights. He gets into a lot of brawls. So a violent husband. You know, so Nancy is just being attacked and beaten and taken advantage of, and everything is happening to her, from performing sexual acts on Stavel for money, not getting paid, to her violent husband, to working really hard as a washerwoman to make money. It's a hard life. The way that this community is split up, it's into two parts. You have where the black people are and where the white people are. There's a ditch or a river that divides it. So it's kind of like, you have like a black hollow, a Negro hollow, and then you have the white part of town and where the white people are, and you have to cross the river to go from the white to the black. So it's a community where the black people are doing hard, heavy labor jobs. Washerwomen, washing clothes by hand. It's a hard job, man. It's a hard job. And Nancy's doing all that she can to survive, and life is just not going well for her. So ultimately, after all this takes place, Nancy's kind of scared after everything that's happened. She believes that her husband is going to come and beat her or kill her out of jealousy for what happened with Stavel. But he's actually gone. He goes to Memphis to another woman. So Nancy is just filled with fear, thinking that something's going to happen to her when nothing happens to her. Within the Compson household, you have Jason and Caddy and Quentin. Jason is 5. Quentin and Caddy are 7. And, Nancy makes them go home with her to her cabin because she's so scared. She feels like she needs some company around her. But, what is a bunch of little kids going to do? Ultimately, the father comes home and takes the kids home, and Nancy's left alone. And by the end of the work, she leaves the cabin door open for when her husband comes to kill her. But she leaves the light on because she doesn't want to die in the dark. So this woman, she's been through it all. She's tried to commit suicide. She's been involved in prostitution. She's been beaten. She's been assaulted. Stavo, the jailer, her husband, her employers, they're like, you're not an imminent threat, so we're not that much worried about you. As soon as Bill C gets better, their normal black worker, they tell Nancy to get out. Yeah, so they want Bill C. They don't want Nancy after Bill C gets better. So the work ends with Nancy and her husband waiting for her husband to come back to kill her. And she leaves the door wide open, or she leaves it open so he can get in. And there's light because she doesn't want to die in the dark. In terms of deeper meaning and analysis, I mean, there's so much going on here. I mean, how much can a woman take? She's black. She's living in poverty. She's performing. Well, she's involved in prostitution to make money, but Stavo won't pay her. The Compson family, don't seem to really care too much about her. They're just paying for her services and washing clothes. Her husband's abusive, and he could kill her. She's scared of her own husband that could kill her. I mean, what do you call the thing with Stavo? Is it rape? I mean, if a prostitute doesn't get paid, but she performs the services, is it assault? Is it rape? Like, what? How do we look at that? Um, I mean, the mental health, the trauma, the abuse, it's a lot for Nancy, and one can understand why she wanted to commit suicide in the jail after experiencing all that she had experienced. She has no comfort, no nothing, and even the kids that she tries to get some comfort from, the father comes and takes them away. Now I understand that. I mean, they're a white family, and these kids are like 5, 7 years old. There's nothing that they can really do to help Nancy. But at the same time, this work actually goes so deep because her husband's name is Jesus, and the Stavo is a deacon in the church, and Stavo is also a banker. So this woman has no security, not even a banker, not even finances, not even money, not even a deacon who's a member of the church that should be helping people and talking about the gospel. But this deacon he just wants sex. He just wants to have sex with her and not pay her for her services. So he's a horrible deacon. He's having sex with prostitutes and not paying. I mean, that's wrong on so many levels. And then the husband's name is Jesus. Now, for the black community and for many people around the world, Jesus is the comforter. He's the counselor. That's God. You want to look at God. But here within this work, it's like there's no hope because even the name of Jesus and a deacon, the position of a deacon is used to show that even that is gone from Nancy's life because these names that people usually turn to for guidance or God even are being used to go against Nancy here. So, I mean, this is just so wrong on so many levels because usually when people cry out to Jesus, it's for comfort, it's for guidance, it's for salvation. But here, Nancy, her husband by the name of Jesus, is, she's not waiting for Jesus to come to save her or for salvation. At the end, she's waiting for her Jesus, her husband by the name of Jesus, to come and kill her. So it's like she leaves a door open for this Jesus that's her husband, this is so uncomfortable because, like, as a Christian myself, you're looking at God here being used in a way that's just not supposed to be used. And but it really shows you how desperate and dark and how hopeless this woman, where she finds herself. And the title of this work, That Evening Sun, I mean, darkness is something that she hates because in darkness, things always get bad for her. Think about her dark cabin. Think about doing sexual favors for Stavel in the dark. Because, I mean, prostitution is not something that you do in public. It's not something you do in the light. It's something that's shameful, that's dark. I mean, when men pay for sex or when people pay for sex, there's no love in it. I mean, prostitution is one of the oldest professions, or it's one of the old. It's the oldest profession in the world, and there's no love in prostitution. Okay, there's no love in prostitution. When men go to strip clubs, when men go to brothels or any type of sex work, it's a transaction. It's a business transaction. It's sexual favors with no love, with no care, with no heart, with no tenderness, no passion, no emotion. It's just a bodily transaction between two people. That includes payment. So, it's, I mean, this is just, there's so many levels that this is just wrong at. So Stavel and Nancy, there's no love. They don't. It's just, it's money and sex. Sex. I mean, a lot of times, people get it confused that having sex means that someone loves you. Not at all. If that were the case, prostitutes would fall in love with their clients, and that's not true. A lot of prostitutes have a lot of sex with their clients, and they don't care. They just want their money. And a lot of men pay for sex from prostitutes, and they don't love them. They just want sex. They're paying for a service. So, and then we know that to be the case because we see how, Stavel here, he just beats her up senseless, kicking her in the face without a second thought because, well, he doesn't care about Nancy. He just wanted a sexual favor. He just wanted to have sex with her, and he gets her pregnant. And again, this is all about sex. There's no love in it. I mean, Stavel could have killed Nancy and not even care. So there's so many layers to this here. There's so many things to think about here. Um, yeah, and then the whole thing with the husband with the name of Jesus. I mean, this woman, every single thing. Well, the work doesn't really go into religion, but again, Jesus is the comforter, comforter, the counselor. God with us. That's usually somewhere you go for comfort and for salvation. But here, Nancy's just waiting to be killed by her husband, who has the name of Jesus. His name is Jesus. So, I mean, there's just so much here. Now, William Faulkner, man, he doesn't play around. Everything that he writes, it's just coming at you, pow, 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 pow. It just keeps coming at you and coming at you. There's so many layers. It just never stops. You can look at it at so many angles. But that's all I had to say about this work. Please remember to leave a like, subscribe, and or comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.